Welcome back. As I said before, coming to Comic-Con gives you the chance to encounter people you probably wouldn't encounter in any other moment of your life, just so you can tell them how much the stuff that they've done has meant to you. This is definitely one of those moments, man. I have never thought I'd be able to do this, but give it up for the good doctor and the good doctor's good doctor. Give it up for... I'm sorry, this is very emotional for me. Stephen Moffat and Peter Capaldi, ladies and gentlemen! This is a big deal for me. One of my favorite hours of programming in the history of television is the school reunion episode back in the Tennant run. Because I was a fan of Who when I was a kid. It was on Channel 9 where I lived and stuff. And when Sarah Jane Smith came back, I wept. I've watched that episode so often. Out of sync with the rest of the run, respected to nothing. Sometimes I'll just wake up, finish my work, and just watch it because it's so beautifully put together, so poignant, man.
Well, thank you, but neither of us were remotely involved
with that. You weren't on that one?
Yeah, no, not
What season did you come on?
I started with Matt Smith, and obviously Peter started with Peter.
Well, obviously I knew Peter was there. Boy, I feel like a
No, that's all right. I agree with you. It's a fantastic episode.
It is a fantastic episode.
It is a beautiful.
Well, I really have nothing left to talk about. So
okay, so we'll see you. That was really nice. I hope you can tell us some more shows that we didn't make that you like.
There was an episode of The Muppets, which I thought was amazing.
I have a similar name, but that's where the connection ends. Yes.
All right, let's go in a bunch of different directions then. This show you've come to define and over the course of your run, which apparently wasn't the episode I was talking about.
Yeah.
But also there's another show called Sherlock, which you had a thing or two to do with.
Yes.
Forthcoming, you have a new show coming up that everyone's excited about, which meant that you were going to leave this show and you're going over to a new place. No?
No. I mean, I'm not leaving this show to do Dracula. It just came to the end of my time, and the two of us are leaving, and Mark and I are going to do a version of Dracula at some point fairly soon. But I mean, we haven't really started working on it yet. We've been doing a lot of interviews about it, which is surreal, given we haven't written a single word. So it's slightly hard to promote.
What is it like when you have to come to that moment as a creator where you're like, both of you, where you're like, okay, I think I've done enough, I'm going to step away? And is there a gut check where you're like, well, this is safe and comfortable and wonderful, why would I walk away from this?
Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it, Peter?
I decided, I love Doctor Who. I've loved Doctor Who since I was a kid and used to write fan letters and stuff like that. And so becoming Doctor Who was an amazing thing. But I suddenly realized that the actual amount of work involved, we do like kind of 10 months a year, every day for 12 hours a day. I thought, I can't keep doing this to the best of my ability. And I didn't ever want to just phone it in. I didn't ever want to just be someone who just turned up for the money. I wanted to be somebody who did it because they loved it. So I thought, well, I want to leave while I think I'm still feeling it. And also Stephen was leaving as well. Stephen's written some of the most extraordinary television programs ever, and I've been lucky to be involved in them, and what he's done with Doctor Who has been amazing. And I thought, well, he's kind of my guy, so I thought it was the right time to go.
Plus, there hadn't been any episodes like School Reunion for a while, so we thought, got it, let's go.
I'm going to be eating that for the rest of my life.
If I have anything to do with it.
For me, I know me, I'm a chicken shit at heart. I have no moral core. Yeah. If something was working for me, I'd stick with it. Nothing for you? You feel like, no, it's time to journey forward?
I've been writing Doctor Who stories for 12 years.
Yeah.
And I've been sort of running the show since 2009. So, it's the best job I've ever had or ever will have. It's not the only job I'll ever want. I want to do other things. And the thing about Doctor Who is, as Peter says, is it's all-consuming, apart from the bits when I'm doing Sherlock. It fills the sky. You worry about it. You stress about it every single day. So I've had several days now where I've not been stressing about Doctor Who. And that's quite nice. I'll never love anything more, but I can't keep working like this. That's what it comes down to.
Stephen usually walks around looking like he's about to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
And it's great because now he just looks like he's about to have a stroke. So that's a big improvement.
Before Who came into your life, and you've been in a few permutations you worked up to, there was the Torchwood, there was this, there was that, and then before you became Doctor Who. But one of your best-known performances, and one that I absolutely loved, is a true Bulgarian was Malcolm in the thick of it.
Yeah, in the thick of it. Yeah,
So I remember when they announced, I was like, oh my God, we're gonna get the first Doctor Who curses a blue streak.
Yeah. I haven't sworn for like 4 years.
Because of that?
Since I became Doctor Who. I thought it was very inappropriate, but hey, I just left.
Stop,
so now
Peter.
I can really curse.
You
Can I do it now?
No, you
Can I do my first
No, you
post?
Please! Oh my God! Give it up for him! Let him curse, ladies and gentlemen! Bring back Malcolm Tucker just for a moment.
The moment Jodie comes on screen, you're allowed to swear again. Not until then.
I've still got. I'm on Christmas Day, so I can't. Once on Boxing Day, you'll hear me. I'll call you.
Please, I'll be
Not
waiting
as a
for it.
response to Jodie, by the way, whom we think is absolutely wonderful.
Let's talk about that real quick. They announced last week to great joy across the
Great joy,
internet that the 13th Doctor is going to be Jodie Whittaker, who I know from, she was in Venus with Peter O'Toole. I loved her in that movie. She was in Attack the Block. She was in Broadchurch. I'm telling you guys what you already know. Did you were leaving, were you involved in that? Were you like, by the way, before I leave, make the next Doctor a lady?
No, I wasn't. I knew Chris's plan from a long time ago. But I wasn't involved in his choice. In fact, I didn't know who he'd chosen until the Friday before the announcement, and because I didn't want to know before Peter knew. The rule was you have to tell Peter first, then you tell me, because it's Peter's job, not mine. But I think she's a wonderful choice, and I think what's more wonderful is, despite a lot of people in the press claiming there's been some big backlash among Doctor Who fans, there hasn't. Doctor Who fans have not only welcomed the idea of Jodie Whittaker playing the Doctor, they don't even go around saying, gosh, a woman Doctor Who. They just say one of the best actors of their generation is taking on Doctor Who again. Isn't that brilliant? That's what they've said. There has been no backlash except for one horrible, spotty, fat man in his basement typing.
And I apologize for that already, so get off my back.
But she is going to be sensational. I spoke to her last week. And
Did you? Is there a Who conversation?
Well, it's great because there are only a very few of us who have actually played this role, and it's unique. And the pressures of it are unique, and the stresses and the joys of it are unique. So I hope we're going to be able to stay in touch. And I mean, David Tennant and Matt Smith have been fabulous to me. They've been such a great, because some days things can become overpowering. And you say, who can I talk to about this? Who understands it? And those guys do. So I hope we'll be able to do that with Jodie too. But can I just say that it was Stephen who really laid the ground for this gender transformation. We have an evil character called the Master, who he transformed into Missy the Mistress, played beautifully by Michelle Gomez. So Stephen has done all this already. So the idea of a gender switch really comes from Stephen.
You guys have spent some time together on the show, you longer than he was there. Give me one emotional moment that you'll always carry with you moving forward? Like, that was, when I think about Doctor Who, that's what I think about from your run. I'm sure over the course of the show you have emotional moments you weren't involved with, but for you, for your period there.
You know when you said your favorite episode was School Reunion?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what got me.
Peter, save me.
Well, I think there's, every day there's something amazing and magical on Doctor. But we did one, there was a day that we were in London at St. Paul's Cathedral, where we filmed Cybermen emerging, robotic men emerging from Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece. And they let us inside, and I got inside and saw like 12 Cybermen relaxing inside the nave of Sir Christopher Wren's Gothic masterpiece, where the public aren't allowed. And I thought, that's pretty fab. Pretty fab.
Something you'll take with you forever.
Yeah.
Going forward, will you work together again? I'm not saying, hey, you're going to put him in the thing, but are you going to put him in the new
I'd
thing?
love to work with Stephen.
I very much hope to be working with Peter again. In fact, I cast Peter as the Doctor because I'd always wanted to work with him. And I thought, you know what I could do here? I could just put him in Doctor Who and that would happen.
That's really sweet.
So that's the way it worked. We didn't really consider anyone else.
Well, that's really. But we're thinking of maybe doing a thing, maybe opening like Walmarts and stuff like that together. I could come dressed as the Doctor.
Dr. Wall.
Dr. Wall. And Stephen could come dressed as like a Zygon or a monster and stuff. And we can make some money that way.
Just like the TARDIS, man. Walmarts are way bigger inside than they look from the outside. Give it up for the boys from Doctor Who, ladies and gentlemen.